Welcome to the Above Podcast. It's a world of guys. About everything.
Guys, we fucked up.
No, it's just, man, we really messed up that spell, bro.
We could do reanimation jutsu.
Hi, I'm Brad.
I'm Steven, I think.
I'm Bobby.
And so last week, unfortunately, Tony passed away during his penis reduction surgery. So what we decided to do was use our two last guests, and we did some alchemy, and we attempted to bring Tony back to life, but as you could see, we clearly failed.
The cock is still there, though. Like, it's huge. Like, they failed the surgery completely.
Well, he lost too much blood. Like, the moment they tried, like, cutting it just...
Why?
Yeah.
I'm curious as to why they waited till he was erect.
No, that's how the surgery normally goes.
Yeah.
Because you gotta get the full length, you know?
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know,
Yeah, because some people, like, have straight fright.
You think?
Or, like,
you think when
he
Tony,
knew that they were gonna do it.
You think when he gets erect, he gets lightheaded because there's no blood in his brain?
He just passes out.
he has
Doesn't
to
even
fuck
get
upside down.
So wait,
It's a bat.
is this zombie Tony, or is he just got a boner?
Wait.
It's just a giant cock sitting in the
Hey,
seat.
think about baseball. Do you come back to us?
Oh, wait.
Why are we luring him with baseball?
Baseball's a boner.
Hey, guys.
killer.
Well, at least we know that 2 souls equal 1 soul normally.
Yes, that's
Guys! No. Tony didn't die. He just had a boner for too long. He didn't have enough blood circulating, so he's just been walking around like this.
they just thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tony,
Damn,
like, clinically dies every time he gets a boner.
Dude, I had to help pick out that casket. That wasn't fun. I'm pretty sure it took up the entire
It's
graveyard.
just a regular casket with just like around the dick area. It's just this large hump, and then it goes back to being a regular casket.
He can't.
They have to bury him upside
I was
down.
gonna say 6 feet deep don't work.
No,
Because if his dick's
exactly.
up
They dig 12 feet down, put the casket 6
And the head
feet
still
upside
sticks out.
down.
No, the head still sticks out. That's the tombstone.
They cement it. They put the cement on it,
Does
right?
this-
It's
does this
it's actually just his dick.
Does this make Tony's wife a necrophiliac?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Yes, confirmed.
So the reason we're going with this whole zombie joke is because we kind of want to talk about ghost stories.
And he died last episode.
And he died.
I died too.
Yeah, that was a rough episode.
Guys, I wasn't dead.
The hot dogs were talking to me.
If you're still watching after that episode, thank you. That was a fun episode to record, but I don't know if it's going to be great to listen to. Just understand that was the whole point.
I'm not gonna lie. Fuck y'all for making me edit that shit.
It was your fault for dying.
It was so bad.
Yeah, so who wants to start today?
I think you do.
I do. I have like 50 of them.
Good, because I have like
I don't know if we have the time for that.
that.
I'm gonna start with a real simple one about my mom since she listens.
Oh my god, is it the one in the basement?
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. We moved into this one house and it didn't have electricity and it was during some hard times. So it was cold, it was dark. We went down to fix the electrical box, and honestly, I was Googling it because we couldn't afford an electrician on my phone. And we're down there, and I'm changing out the circuit boxes,
Jesus
and my
Christ.
mom's down there holding the light. And I want to preface this by saying she's got bad knees. At the time, she had a bad back. She could barely walk, and the stairs of the house were built like a million years ago, so they're like real high stairs. Normally, it takes her like 5 minutes to walk up and down them. So we're down in the basement in the complete dark and we're working. And all we hear is this real heavy breathing, like, and I'm like, I turn around in that moment and I go, Mom, what the hell was that? And she's gone. She's fucking gone. I swear to God, I saw the light falling, and she's just gone. She was up those goddamn stairs in a millisecond.
Before the light hit the ground, she was already upstairs.
Right.
That's how fast she noped out.
It was ridiculous, and I'm like, you just left me to die!
Was there any other things that happened after that fact in that house, or was that like just...
Oh, no, actually, specifically in this house, there's some other things that happened. It was my uncle's house. Great uncle. So one time I'm sitting on the computer, dial up, downloading some fun pictures. Wink. And
Wait.
Porn.
You guys had to download your porn?
yeah.
Okay, listen, not everyone was born with fast internet. Some of them had dial-up.
No, I still have shitty internet, but like,
And if someone calls, it ruins your wank because you have to start over.
And you hear that great sound. And then the phone rings.
So
thank God you guys had like Pokemon.
we had our computer closest to the dial-up port on the wall. And it was in the kitchen, and behind it is the stairs to the basement. Well, I left them open. I don't know why, because I went down there to do some laundry or something. And I'm on the computer, and I'm like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. I was playing a game called Naruto Arena at the time. Real shitty game. We'll talk about it some other time. But I get up, and I'm just like, that's enough. My mom wants the phone. I turn around, and I look, and down the stairs, there's an old man standing there. And I'm like, hello? And
Yo, what's up?
What's good? You want some pizza bagels, bro?
I was terrified. I was in shock. I just see an old man standing there. And then he just darts off to the side.
Like running, or does he float?
It was so fast I don't even know.
Why
But he was just gone.
Flash.
And I went out and I described this. I never actually met my uncle. He died before I was born.
Oh, you mean that uncle?
Yeah. So
I thought you meant like an uncle that you were just like living with it.
No.
Your dead uncle.
Yeah, so I'd never met him before. I go to my mom's house. I go to my mom and I describe exactly what happens. I'm freaking out. I grabbed a crucifix off the wall. I'm holding that shit. I ain't gonna fuck around. I ain't going in and out of that basement. I don't think I ever went down again, honestly. And I described it to her and she goes, "That's your Uncle George." And I'm like, "Nah, no shit. We're moving the computer, bitch."
Little does anyone know that the laundry he had going downstairs are still there to this day.
I have a pretty like shit. It's not like, okay, I'll just say it. So this story begins with me wanting to watch ghost shows whenever I was little.
Yeah.
Big mistake, because like, that sort of shit, like, it's just like, oh, that's gonna happen to me. Because I didn't have any concept of how things like worked. Like, if I saw a murderer on TV, I'm like, that guy's outside.
He's gonna kill me.
He's gonna kill me. So I saw ghosts and demons on TV, and I'm like, those things are in this house right now. So I expressed this. My mom is a hardcore, like, Catholic. So she's very like, hey, God. And
Amen.
Yes. She had told me in a previous time that if you lied, the devil was gonna get you.
Bro. So that was the devil.
Hold on.
It gets better.
So I'm like processing that like there's an afterlife, the possibility of an afterlife, if you will. And I'm getting there in my head, and I'm just like, oh my God, I lied about something before. So I climb out of my loft bed, which I'm already terrified that I'm gonna climb down. There's gonna be like guys standing there. Like, I'm just afraid of everything. and I run out of my room, and behind me I just hear,
Jesus.
Fuck. I fucking shit my pants and started crying.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ!
And I literally cut the corner as my parents were sitting at the table just bawling. And I'm like, Mom, the devil's gonna get me.
Imagine the ghost is actually just tap dancing in the hallway. Like, he turns back and he's just there.
He's like, yeah.
And then he hits you with the jazz hands at the end.
It's like West Side Story, just...
It was just the dog, by the way.
Oh.
So that's my first ghost story.
You unlocked a core memory, because it is very common in Latin American households to be threatened with the devil all the time. And I found this out because I thought like first it was just my mom, or maybe it was just like my family. But there's a different name for the devil in like every country. And it's all the same story. It's like, I'm going to get El Coco on you. Coco's gonna come pull your legs while you sleep because you lied or you did something bad.
No, fuck that shit.
And at first I thought that was just like, oh, that's like my family being dickheads. No, like in other countries like El Cucuy, and there's a bunch of different names for the same fucking thing that you threaten your kids with. And so we're like traumatized from the start. Like, my mom communes with fucking demons. It's just like, el mijo, no, he lied to me. Is the demon's gonna come get him?
So I'm not gonna lie, you had a very different experience, but a similar experience. My dad was also from Brazil, so he had that whole Latin America bullshit. The difference is, though, I remember being 5 years old. I'm in the first grade, roughly. And my teacher has a Lego set in the back of her classroom to play with. It was so fucking cool.
But the devil.
And I wanted one of the minifigures, the one with the little fucking flippy helmets.
Oh, you stole it.
So I stole it. I took that sumbitch home.
Oh no.
So the devil.
I get home, and my dad finds that Lego, because he knows he never got me any Legos. He never got me fucking anything. So he finds that Lego, and he's like, Tony, where did you get this? I was like, I got it at school. The teacher gave it to me. And he's like, no, she didn't. You stole it, didn't you? I was like, yeah, I took it. I was going to take it back tomorrow. And he goes, you know what happens to little son of a bitches who steal?
Oh my god.
They go straight to fucking hell. And I literally did not sleep for like weeks after that. I couldn't live with myself, dude. I never stole anything in my life because of that.
It's some traumatizing shit. Like, your parents are like, yeah, the devil is just going to rip your dick off.
Can you imagine the devil chilling in hell and a little ticket comes through? It's like,
oh, a stolen Lego.
Fuck that guy. I stole the Batmobile one time because people made fun of me.
The entire Batmobile?
It was a Hot Wheels Batmobile.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, how'd you take out Christian Bale?
God damn.
Yeah, I got the Bat Tumbler in my backyard. You guys just haven't seen it yet.
I don't want to hurt anyone. I'd show it to you.
Yeah, I would show it.
Wait, in this economy, you have a backyard?
Oh man, and kind of going back to like stories and shit that I've heard, and I have a personal vendetta against these kinds of people, and I apologize if you're this kind of person. I'm sorry, I just don't really jive with the whole mentality of like people who like their crystals and like the charging it and keeping them with them for witches. Witches.
No, Loki's a Norse god.
Ooh! Oh shit! Got him.
Anyway, in like there's a religion in Latin America called brujeria. There's like actual witchcraft, right?
Like with chicken feet.
Like
and
with
shit.
chicken and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like it's an actual thing.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna preface this story with I was not there, but these are stories that I've heard from my aunt that have been like corroborated by people in my family and people that they've known these stories to be true. There's my disclaimer.
Nice.
The first story had to do with my cousin, and he went to go hang out with one of his other family members, and it's in Colombia, so like it was in the outskirts of the city, and there's a bunch of like a forested area. It's up in the mountains, and they were hanging out, and then they started hearing like wails, like screaming, like just screeches from the forest.
Nope.
That's the thing. My parents, my little go. They were definitely afraid because they were the only ones in the house, right? And it's late at night. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning, the witching hour. You know what I mean? So like they start hearing these screams. They don't know what the fuck to do. So they call my aunt, my cousin's mom. And she's like, my mom, there's someone screaming outside. And it's been going on for like 20 minutes. So my aunt is like, oh shit, let's start praying.
Oh my god.
So she starts praying. Not being serious. She starts praying on the phone, right?
Throw some rocks at it, it'll go away.
No, she starts praying on the phone. And my cousin corroborates this story. His cousin corroborates this story. The lights start to flicker.
No.
Things start to shake in the house.
Oh, get the fuck out.
And by the end of the prayer session, it stops. The screaming stops.
What is with...
Blows my mind.
No, see, that shit, like, audible sounds fuck me up. Like, that breathing would fuck me.
Like,
Fuck me up.
I have a sound story whenever you're done.
But like I said, like, I have no reason to not believe my aunt, 2 of my cousins, and my mother who also confirmed this story. So I'm just like, okay, I mean, like, I wasn't there, but like that's pretty fucking solid evidence that it actually happened.
So kind of in the same vein again, like what is with like people from like the South America area?
It's because that shit happens, bro. And that's what pisses me off, is because we've got these witches up here, right? Like, I ain't talking about like those that like believe in like what's the religion? Paganism. That's different. But like they're like people that are like, I'm a witch just to get like clout and
My
some
parents
shit.
were witches.
Yeah, like
I'm a descendant of a witch.
Like people that like use their charged crystals on their vaginas or some shit.
To
Those
charge the
people
clean.
piss me off. I gotta get something off my chest, but you continue if you had anything else.
Yeah, no, my dad, he was very into Christianity, and the thing that he was into specifically was called congregation Christians.
Okay.
So this isn't like a super ghosty story, but basically it was a church where instead of a pastor, a random person from the audience or like whoever's there would and just preach.
Okay.
Oh my
So,
god.
my dad had experiences as a child as part of the congregation Christian where he thought he was the guy to go up and speak, and he went up to the podium, literally eyes rolled back in his head and just started speaking tongue. Like,
Jesus Christ.
the fucking shit is crazy, and I don't understand. Like, comparably to America, where we got like fucking the pastors who just rip you off. Like,
I have seen this in person.
no shit.
No, my very first girlfriend, I don't know what kind of Christians they were. They might have been this. But I was very involved with their family. I enjoyed them very much. So they're like, hey, you're going to come to us to one of our, like, 11 at night sessions.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, this is this. And while we're driving there, it was her grandmother driving. She goes, now listen, Bobby. They might stand up and start screaming in tongues. You might stand up and start screaming in tongues.
Huh?
And I'm like, what?
How old were you?
Like 15.
Oh, fuck that.
Come on, say, huh?
What?
And I'm just like, what? And I'm just like, it's funny. And they're like, it's very rare. Very rare. And it probably won't happen to you. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good. So we're sitting there. We're sitting in the church, right? And I'm just kind of off, and I'm just like watching all these guys. And they're all super friendly people.
Right.
And out of nowhere, during one of the things, the dude just stands up and he's just like, hold me a capita. Yeah. He starts fucking speaking in tongues. And I'm just like,
The fuck?
and the preacher goes, do not be afraid, brothers. And translates what he says.
Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
it is the most
That's
insane
fucking
shit.
It's jarring as
insane.
fuck.
I used to go to like sermons like this. I never actually saw somebody speaking in tongues, but we used to travel like hours from the house and do it at like the stupidest fucking times to do church like things with my dad, and it was fucking insane. Like,
Speaking of
sucked.
hearing things, I actually have two quick little stories because like my ghost stories aren't that super elaborate. One time I was going outside to feed my horse, right? We have a horse. Yeah. I don't want to hurt anybody though. But anyway, I have a horse and I was feeding her. Well, I was going to feed her. I had the bucket in my hand, I had the couple chunks of hay, and I'm rounding the corner because like there's this big pasture where she stays, and there's a couple sheds.
Okay.
And I'm rounding the corner, and as I cut the corner, I see a man holding his hand out to the horse. I dropped everything, turned around, walked back. I was like, wait. He was gone.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
he's just gone in an instant. Shit.
Fuck.
It's just, I went inside, I'm like, Mom, I'm not feeding the horse. So, next story real quick. I'm home alone with my brother. This actually happened like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And my mom works late. She works like from like 1 to like midnight. 1 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Okay.
And me and my brother are sitting there at home, and he's not supposed to be up, but we're playing video games, you know. The
You
usual.
bastard.
All of a sudden, we just hear, hello? A woman's voice. And I'm like, oh, fuck, Mom's home. I got up, I went out to like try to go. I'm like, yeah, Justin's getting into bed. And I walk out, and there's nobody there. I go downstairs, there's nobody downstairs. Oh, I go into my room because my brother's still in there playing games. I'm like, did you hear that? He goes, yeah, is it Mom? I'm like, no. And he's like, what do you mean? So I call my mom, like, were you here for like a millisecond? And she's like, no, what do you mean? I'm like, some lady just said hello and is gone.
Just to preface that, I mean, maybe people will kind of understand when you say you have a horse, but you live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah, oh yeah. So I there's the closest house to me, it's a decent runs, and they're all elderly.
And
So-
no one came to fuck with you.
Yeah, nobody came to like fuck with me. So then I thought it was like, oh, maybe it's my cousin. It wasn't my cousin. So I'm going through this list, and yeah, so that night I was just very like, oh, he's just living in bumfuck nowhere. It's already like super jarring to hear a voice that you don't know.
Right.
Because like, I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but whenever we're here and I hear like a car or something, and if I'm by a window, I look out the window because I'm not used to like seeing
Cars
or
all
hearing
the time,
cars
right.
and stuff like that. So like if I hear like gravel or something, I'm like, investigate.
Someone's here.
Who's here? So like, yeah, there was a voice in the house that I never found.
The second story, which I think is a little bit wilder than the witch story. So my aunt, same aunt, for the longest time was doing like odd jobs in Colombia because she couldn't get like a stable job. So she was a maid for this apartment complex. So she would do her rounds. She'd like go to the buildings that she was set to go to, and one of them was this very elderly woman. So she started. It was the first time she was cleaning her house, and she goes and she starts cleaning the house, and she's got some cats, so she's cleaning the litter box. She's cleaning like the kitchen, the living room. She starts going to clean the bedrooms. She noticed that there's 3 bedrooms. 2 of them perfectly normal. The third one is locked with like a deadbolt.
Oh my god.
And so she's like, old lady, do you want me to clean in this room? And she gets like real bad. She's like, you don't enter that room ever. She's like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to touch that room. It's all good.
Sounds like a Scooby-Doo story.
No, but so she continued cleaning this woman's room, like house, except not going into this room. Eventually, she stopped cleaning there. And a couple months after the fact, the old woman dies. So there are people there, like her family and stuff, start emptying out her house. And she gets to this door, and they unlock the door, and it was her dead husband, who she preserved in this room.
Wait, completely preserved? Like he looked normal?
I mean, I don't know like the details of how like deep into composition this man was. But she also didn't specify if there were any like bad smells, so I can only assume it preserved decently. But he was in the bed. It was a queen size bed, just laying there.
That was her bedroom?
Yeah. So then she moved into another room after he died.
Oh, I thought she went in there and slept with the body.
No. She locked the room and just left it. Here's the worst part.
It gets worse.
Yes.
Oh my god.
A couple days later, the entire apartment complex burns down.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Chills.
Yeah, right. That's
the
spooky.
entire
That gave me chills.
the entire apartment complex burns down, and it was like a 2-building thing, and there was like a connector, but only that one building burned down. And when they like checked to see, like the fire people, like, okay, well, how did it start? It started on the floor that the old lady lived in, and she died. And they opened this room, and
everybody else got to die too.
Yep.
What a deal!
Jesus. So I used to be a real big skeptic too. Like I was just like, okay. So this one time when we were younger, we had this fancy room. My mom called it was her company room. She called it the good room. Well, one day my brother comes out of it, and my mom goes, "What were you doing in there?" And he goes, "I was just talking to an angel."
Oh fuck!
And I'm like,
"Oh fuck,
John, you're stupid. There's no such thing. Ghosts aren't real. Angels aren't real. You're a fucking idiot, right?" And we were young. And then, like, a year or 2 later, no, it was way longer.
You hit
than
me
that.
up that you talked to an angel, bro. We're gonna have some serious conversations
Right?
after this is over.
So it was a few years later. I'm at work with my mom. She works at like this center that helps disabled people, and she had closed up. All the guests had gone home. She was doing some paperwork in the office, and I wanted to go. I was like, "Mom, can I just go mess around with the pool table?" And she goes, "Yeah, go ahead." So I leave the office. I go through the dining area, and I go into the rec room, and there's a little boy there playing with a ball.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. That's when you leave, bro.
No, I swear to God, he was playing with a ball, and I go, "Mom, Mom, Mom!" And by the time she runs out, he's gone. He literally took off and ran through a wall.
You saw a kid run through a wall.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
That's amazing.
I didn't think of it. So I'm now a firm believer in stuff like stories. There's fucking unexplained shit that happens, and so many people have seen so many things that are just the same from different parts of the world that there's no way they could have come together and said, "Hey, this is a thing."
And I agree with you, Brad, about the crazy stories that are like all connected. That shit's nuts to me, and it makes me mad. And I kind of touched upon this with like fake witches. I have like an annoyance with it because like you're not quirky because you believe in crystals and all that shit, but people do that, and it comes back to a story. It was Christmas time, and our friend group is rather large. So sometimes on Christmas, instead of getting everyone gifts for people that can't do that, we do a Secret Santa. And the Secret Santa this year we had a couple of extra people. One of them who was dating a guy in the group at the time, and she is like hardcore. She's a witch. She's all this stuff. She believes in all that. But I truly believe it's for being quirky, and she does it for clout. So I ask her boyfriend, fiance thing, and I'm like, hey, you know her better than I fucking do. What is she like? I'm expecting she likes stuffed animals, or I don't know, she likes jewelry.
Like a
she's
perfume
like,
kid or
she's
something.
like, she likes witch stuff. Good at that. I'm like, what the fuck do I look like getting her witch stuff? So I was really mad about it, and we took a big trip to the mall, and I had like pushed this off. And I'm like, fuck it, we gotta get something. So of course we go to the store which sells all of the perfect witch stuff, Spencer's. And
Did you get her the starting book?
No, so I bought her tarot cards and sage.
And a huge dildo.
That just was in the wall, which, you know, all the quirky white girls love going to the store to get that shit.
I just want to say real quick, I love tarot cards. They're just cool.
I agree, but
I feel you.
So I bought.
You know damn well she hasn't touched them.
I bought them angrily and I gave them to her, and I called my mom and I was complaining about them because they're wonderful people, and I was telling her about what I had to buy her for Secret Santa, and so I prefaced it. I'm like, Mom, and keep in mind there's a language barrier. She speaks Spanish, so I'm speaking to her in Spanish, and so I'm like, yeah, she likes witches. And she's like, mijo, like, so what, did you get her like a broom? Did you get her like a hat? Because she's thinking like dressing up like a witch. Like that's like her mind first went to.
Like normal.
And
people.
I'm like, no, Mom, like witch stuff. Like, and she like pauses. She's like, so you bought her a chicken, right? And I'm like, no, Mom, if I had the balls to buy her a live chicken, I would have. And she started laughing. She's like, I don't get it. She's like, I seen that shit. Like, that shit's not fun. That shit's not cool. Like, you can fuck with some real bad shit with that stuff. And I'm just like, I know, Mom, but like, people like doing it because it's cute and cool and it's different. And she just doesn't get it. And I'm like, I shared a moment with my mom. I'm like, yeah, I don't get it either.
Right.
So she loved the tarot cards. She's like, oh my God, I can add this to my collection of tarot cards, I guess. And I don't know. She put sage somewhere, burned it. I don't fucking know.
You imagine one of these fake witch bitches actually like conjure a demon one day, and they're just there, and they're just like, it's my savior, and then it just impales them. Fucking
That's not lit.
There's an amazing episode of Supernatural about just that.
That's fucking.
And they summon a demon, and the demon's just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you all.
I've had exes like that, and Bobby, I know we share this together.
I got a story about a witch and her coven.
Oh, fucking
Coven? Okay, so my ex, big into crystals and stuff, and I was just like, like thinking with my penis at the time. I'm like, she's older than me. This is great, and I love her. So I didn't.
That was my penis.
Praise Lucifer.
And I remember this one time, she had been going through my phone, and I believe that everybody is allowed to have friends of every gender. If you're in a relationship and you gatekeep the other gender from your significant other, it's kind of fucked up. So naturally myself, I have friends of both genders. And my one friend, she's like, hey, I want to get bangs. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. You'd probably look good with them. That's all I said.
How fucking dare you, Bobby?
She reads my phone. My messages with this girl.
And she placed a curse on you for 1,000 years.
No,
Worse, she threw rocks at him.
No! She punched me!
Oh, no!
Right in the middle of the back as I'm sleeping. So my natural response is to just, kind of swat. So I roll, swat, smack her. I fucked up. She goes to her friends, and they're like, they have their own little group chat and stuff. And she's like, he beat me! I'm just like,
oh, God.
Like, bro, I'm sleeping. What? So it eventually gets to the point where she's calm, I'm calm, and I'm like, can I please read what you were saying about me? She told these people messaged her parents, so now her parents think that I beat her.
That's amazing.
And then I scroll down a little bit and I start reading. It's like, I wouldn't even curse him to the lowest pits of hell in the 7th level of Bartholomew. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, you guys are fucking dumb. This shit's stupid. So then I messaged them personally. And I'm like, listen here, you World of Warcraft fucking nerds. I'm like, stay out of my business, please. And it ended with me, I'm pretty sure, getting like hexed, but
Somebody played Dante's Inferno and took it as a lifestyle choice.
What's the name of that fucking show that had like it has a bunch of seasons and it's a different season every time? Lady Gaga's in it.
American Horror Story. That shit's amazing.
American Horror Story. They watch too much of American Horror Story Coven and they're just like, I'm a witch.
Oh, that's where that show derailed. Coven fucking sucks. It is literally just that. That is why white girls think
that it's cool.
Yes, it's literally that. Because they're like, oh, I'm such a badass. I brought a boy back. I watched it. Because like I thoroughly enjoyed this show. The actors are amazing. Everything about the show is amazing. And then it falls off and the show becomes about like sex and witches and cool stuff. It goes from being like the very first season. Have you ever watched it?
Yeah.
No.
Isn't it Asylum? Yeah, that's it, right? That's what.
I'm not sure which one's the first.
Season 2 is fucking killer.
I watched the clown.
It reinvigorated my nun kink. And then we get to the whole fucking, I'm a witch, and I'm just like, ah, fuck, I'm out.
Real quick, you talked about beating your girlfriend, right?
I didn't.
Oh, it's a great
This
segue.
literally just sends me back to the first time, like me and my wife now. She was my girlfriend at the time, and we had a defining moment in our relationship.
Okay.
Where I did something, stupid like a man, and she slapped me. And I thought to myself, this is it. If I let this go, I'm the bitch. So I slapped her back. And I shit you not, she looked real offended and slapped me again. And now we're married.
Yeah, fun fact for anybody who doesn't know, Brad is the bottom in his relationship.
Power bottom.
I've literally seen that like Brad will like lightly nudge her and then she'll just like unleash flurry and blows.
We've got to take Brad to the hospital with like shank wounds.
Honestly, this is like the Amber Heard situation right now.
It's gonna sound like Stockholm syndrome, but I absolutely deserve it. Trust me.
And he's right. He's a piece of shit. But
I'm gonna segue into a just like hard segue, like hard, like sharp left.
Like you're Paul Blart, you doing some sick moves.
Don't ever think I could get on his level. Please. Blessed be his name.
Alpha moves.
Man, I hate Adam Sandler and his crew, but
Praise
Paul
Kevin
Blart can
James.
get it. But so like I've never told this story like to anyone because I just think it sounds dumb. Because you can't just go to people saying like stuff like this. But we're on the topic of it, so this is an actual personal experience that I regress a lot because it fucking sucked. So my aunt lives on a farm on a road called Dark Hollow.
That's alright.
Oh, yeah.
And it's surrounded by woods.
That's a big number.
And they live near an Indian burial ground.
No, fuck it. I'm out.
Okay, no. Okay, so shit starts happening to them. And I hear about it. I'm like, that's like kind of cool to hear about.
No.
It sucks that it's happening, but like, yeah, tell me more. My cousin delivered milk to us because, milk, helping out the family. Cow milk, made homemade, it's can't get better than that.
Right.
It's got a real good sweetness to it. So she shows up and they start coming and then shit starts happening to me.
With the milk?
No. I became lactose intolerant. I shit myself. No. So like I start getting into these fits of like absolute anger.
Oh Jesus.
And like I can't sleep at night. I don't remember this, but my mom claims that she had found me one morning ripping the hair out of my head, just having a meltdown in my room.
Milk, man.
I couldn't sleep at night.
You're on your period.
No, but I'm just having a terrible time. All these. So my mom, in her infinite wisdom, decides to contact a psychic, and this guy's like he's like, listen, your son has things with him right now.
The milk.
It's the milk monsters. No, he has things with him right now, and they torment him all night. It describes them as these small, like impish things that just run around my room, causing absolute fucking terror. And it sounds fucking dumb, But my God, dude, this guy blessed the house, and afterwards I slept like a fucking angel. But I wasn't going to school for weeks because I couldn't sleep at night. I was going nuts. It was fucking terrible. And that's probably the closest thing I have to a personal ghost story that's like actually like, ugh.
Right.
So interesting that you mentioned being possessed. And that just unlocked something that I completely had forgotten about.
Core memory unlocked.
Seriously, it's so insane. So when I grew up next to a church. In between us and the church was a cemetery.
And Ellen beat you up in the cemetery, didn't she?
What, Ellen? Like DeGeneres?
God damn it, Ellen.
No, that was
That's
actually
Ellen
her.
DeHands, you know?
That was her twin sister, Ellen DeHands. No, but
P. Sherman, 42, Wallaby Way, Sydney. Bitch.
Continue.
so we grew up and there was a cemetery next to our house, and I was like terrified as a child because there was a cemetery, and my bedroom sat and there was a window, perfect view.
Oh, of course.
It was like right there, creepy, never maintained, fucking awful.
It was bad.
So I always thought that I was like haunted a little bit as a kid because of this, right? So I remember laying in bed at night and just never being able to sleep, and I would just hear footsteps walking on the carpet outside. And my house was freshly built, and it was built on top of like an old mining house at that, where people died in the old mining house. So I'm assuming it's between the cemetery and the fucking mining house, it was probably bad. I was spooked.
Yeah.
Fully spooked. And I always remember seeing like bad shit happening and being super messed up. But then one night, one thing really fucked me up. I remember getting out of my bed, and I don't consciously remember a lot of this. It's from my mom's point of view for the most part. I got out of bed, walked into the bathroom, turned the faucet on, stared at it for 20 minutes, left the bathroom with the faucet still running. I didn't do any of the stuff. Like, I was fucking out of my gourd.
Was it hot or cold water?
It doesn't matter.
Well, if it gets steamy, what is something?
I mean, eventually it probably got cold.
Yeah, he's
You
right.
had to run it for 20 fucking
Yeah,
minutes.
we had like a well and like a really shitty
I
water
bet your
heater.
dad was pissed.
Hey, Tony, our water bill, 45 extra. You work for this.
The devil's gonna come kill you.
So I walked out of the bathroom, went to my parents' bedroom, snuck in to my parents' bedroom, climbed up on their bed like a fucking ninja, didn't wake them up at all, which my dad slept like fucking, he couldn't sleep. He was
Right.
awake all the time, and he would, if he would have caught me, he would have beat my ass right then and there. Ninja'd my way into the room, stood at the end of their bed, my hands against the wall, and pissed.
It was the milk ghost!
Don't know why the piss was important, but I was pissing. My parents woke up to that, though, somehow. Again, my dad slept like a
Did
fucking...
your dad beat your ass?
Oh, yeah, no. My ass was floored.
You think this is funny? What's going on?
But afterwards, and it continued. Like, I didn't sleepwalk so much afterwards, but it continued just, like, feeling scared all the time and hearing shit at night. And eventually, one day I was sitting at my computer. And this is my truly most haunting moment, despite that other one that I repressed, I guess. I was sitting at the computer just dicking around. My parents were watching TV. And I turned, and you could see straight through our kitchen to the door. And there was, like, a dude in, like, a fucking golden, like, light around him. And he just looks at me, nods, and walks away. I never felt scared in that house after that moment.
That's amazing. Speaking of pissing,
You are the king of segues.
so sorry, this is important.
Is it?
Have you ever watched the movie Darkness Falls?
No.
Well, basically, it's about the evil tooth fairy that kills you, and it like lights its big enemy. So I watched it as a kid because my mom's a bastard, and I have to pee in the middle of the night.
Oh no.
I open the door. I look out the hallway. This is literally the night we watched it. The lights are out. I close the door. I go piss in the closet.
Like in a bottle or like...
No, I pissed in the closet.
Jesus Christ.
Imagine like it was like waiting for you in there and just like, oh, what the fuck? You just hear like, ew.
So speaking of traumatizing things, So I've been to Colombia twice in my life. 3 times, technically. Once I was an infant. The second time I was a toddler. The only time I vividly remember is when I was 13, turning 14. And we had spent about 3 months there. And this is like, it's huge. All my family's there. So I don't really get to spend a lot of time with them. And I haven't seen them since. It's been that fucking long.
Oh my God.
So the night we get there, right? It's a big celebration. They rented out a mariachi band. It was at my fucking family's house. It was a
They rented a mariachi band?
yes.
Oh, come on, man. You're fucking me.
No, okay, first off, I'm gonna get on my soapbox here. Mariachi bands are not strictly Mexican.
I know,
But no, it was a big thing. My mom hadn't gone back since I was like 2 or 3. I was 13 at the time. It's been like 10 years, bro. It was a big fucking deal that we were back. Like, they hadn't seen each other in that fucking long. It was a big deal.
It was
So,
the return of the Jedi, bro.
so like, it was a big celebration. I remember there was music and we were all having a good time. And it was starting to get late into the night. It was like 2 or 3 in the fucking morning. And we're still going at it. So, things are starting to wind down. And my one cousin, because I have an aunt and an uncle that's like brother and sister to my mom. And we were staying at my mom's brother's house. That's where we stayed during the 3 months. And my other cousin was like, hey, let's go show you the town. It's late. There's no one's going to be out bothering us. So imagine like our small town, there's Main Street, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Main Street in Colombia is actually closed off. You can't drive it. You can just walk up and down. There's a bunch of stores. It was great. It was a good time. So so they asked my mom, because I was too afraid to ask my mom. First off, these were people that I don't even really remember meeting, but they're family, right? So they're like, hey, can we go to our house? We want to show them. We want to show them the center. We want to show them the city. And my mom at first was a little hesitant, and then my aunt was like, oh, they'll be fine. Because I'm the youngest, right? So I'm 13 and 14. My other cousin was like 17, and my oldest was like 21 at the time. So like, they're adults, and they'll take care of me. So they agree to go, and well, let's go do it. So the only way to get around the city, if you're rich, you have a stick shift vehicle. It's if you're rich. I was there for 3 fucking months and never once saw an automatic. You either had a car, you had a motorcycle, or you fucking taxied around everywhere. So we taxied around everywhere. So we get a taxi, they come up to our house, we go, and we go to the center, we go to like the very top, it's all hilly, it's all mountain city. So we go to the very top and we walk all the way down, and we catch up during that time. Now, this shit fucked me up. Because you know how like there are YouTube videos of like people that specifically talk about like spooks and hauntings and shit? Well, we're listening to the radio. The syndicated Colombian radio. And it's 3 in the fucking morning. And this guy is talking about like hauntings and shit. And he's got like audios of like spooky shit. It's got me all fucked up. It was like I think thinking back, it was like a 10 to 15 minute car ride to the center of the city. And to me, it felt like an hour. And I'm there like, oh my God, all this shit happens in this goddamn country. And I'm here in the thick of it. And my cousins are just like chatting it up. They're like, yeah, how was your day? It's great that the family's back together. And I'm like too afraid to speak.
Steve in the backseat having an existential crisis.
And then I get to hear all these stories later on about like witches and like how apartment complexes burning down. And I'm like, this shit's fucked. But like, I just remember that. And for the longest time, even after the fact, you know, like you can get like iHeartRadio or whatever the fuck it is, you can hear radios from like other countries. I would listen in really late to like catch up with the fucking crazy shit that's happening in the country. So we get to the top of the city, we get to the top of the main street, and we walk our way down, and things are still open. So like my cousin, the drinking age in Colombia is 18. So they went, and of course, as adults, I didn't drink, but they got like a bottle of aguardiente, which is essentially like tequila, but it's ours. It's real cool. Represent, you know?
Yeah.
So like they bought a half of it, and they're like, hey, Steven, you want a drink? I'm like, no, man, I'll take a Pepsi. And they give me a little Pepsi, walk our asses down. I didn't sleep for like 2 or 3 days. So we get to their apartment, right? Brand new place. I didn't know that I was going to have my own separate room there. So it was the 3 of us bunking in one bedroom. like the inflatable, and they had bunk beds, and I was too afraid to get to the top bunk, and me and my cousin are sharing a twin-sized bunk bed, and they're knocked the fuck out, and I'm like in the back of my mind still playing all those fucking spooky shit sounds. And I'm like, it's like 4 a.m. and I finally crashed. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. We got there like 4 a.m. and I crashed at like 5 or 6 to wake up at like 8 a.m. because then we had to go to church.
They party hard, they pray hard.
Amen. But my aunt on that side are very religious people, so like they were like, it's Saturday, we go, you guys have a good time, and then we'll go to church. I'm like, sure, yeah, good. And I mean, I'm not like the most religious person, but it's like my family. I'm gonna spend some time with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You guys ever experienced sleep paralysis?
No.
Yes.
Honestly, I sleep face down, and apparently, if you like sleep face down, that doesn't really happen to you.
It happens if you lay on your back. Like the chances of it happening raises if you lay on your back. So like sometimes I want to lay on my back, and then I immediately remember that possibility raises, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna sleep on my side.
You are.
And I had sleep paralysis here and there throughout, like when I lived at my house primarily, but now I pretty much live at Tony's. And there were times where I would see things, little spooky things here and there, but then it started up at Tony's house for whatever reason.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Do I need to go bless the house?
No, it's been a long time since it happened, but like it would happen. Like this was back whenever like all y'all like when you didn't work from home.
Yeah.
So like I was alone all the time.
Fucking hell.
So like at least he'd get up, go to work. Tony'd get up to go to work. Bunny's going with Tony. And I'd be laying in bed and like I could feel it. You know, I knew it was gonna happen, and I'd be sitting there and my eyes would open. Fuck it, man, I can't move. It feels like pins and needles everywhere.
Yep.
As you try to move, and you literally just can't. Ooh. So I can feel my body, like, convulsing, but I can't move. And I'm like, if I throw myself...
if I can chuck myself off this bed, I'll wake up.
That's literally like my thought. I'm like, dude, I hate this. I need to get off this bed. So I can feel my body, like, moving. I'm like, I can't move. Luckily, I never saw anything, except for one time. And it happened when I slept in downstairs on the couch. Everybody just left. I just waved. I just sent my girlfriend off to work. And I was about to spend the whole day of just, chillaxing and being cool. But I was like, I'm going to take a nap real quick. So I lay down on the couch and I get the blanket. And I'm like, this is kind of cozy. And I fall asleep. And I'm facing, like, the couch is against the wall and I'm facing the wall. And so this is what fucked me up. I woke up. Of course, I couldn't move.
Right.
And I'm a very sweaty person. So the blanket had been on me for a hot minute. So I can feel how wet I am. And I'm like, fuck, okay, well, I'll just lay here.
The milk ghost.
I looked up and I saw a fucking face over the back of the couch.
Nope.
Oh, fuck.
And I was just like, I literally like looked immediately down like at the pillow that I was laying on, and I didn't look back up until I could snap myself. I was like, you gotta fucking wake up now. This is it. This is do or die. This is it. And I sat up and I sat there for a minute and I'm just like, the house don't sit right with me, man. I'm just saying. It creeps me out on a whole other level.
I'll bless the house.
Yo, Brad, you got an extra bedroom?
Yes. I blessed this house because the fucking basement, I swear to God, children were buried there, bro.
Stay tuned for our special Halloween episode where we have a seance with the children in the basement.
Absolutely the fuck not. I will not be a part of that.
Absolutely the fuck not.
No, I've heard mixed stories about my house. Like I don't feel any kind of weird because I mean I lived there for a while. Also, like as I've grown up, like yeah, I've had some moments, but like I'm just more rational now.
There's some nights where I walk down them steps and I'll like look into the living room and be like, nah. I'm getting my water. I'm going back upstairs.
I'll bless your house if you want.
But like, I have heard stories from my coworker actually used to live in the house. She said, terribly, I have my daughter in the same room where she kept her daughter, and she said her daughter used to come out in the middle of the night, close the door behind her, and sit in the stairwell and just talk to somebody.
Fuck that. You're not going to your fucking house no more, bro.
Hey, no, we're partying here tonight.
I'm blessing your house. Grab the crucifix off the wall. I'm blessing your house when we get there.
I keep that thing on me.
I've never felt anything weird. My wife says she every once in a while gets kind of an but like I'm fine. I'm good.
I got one more before we wrap up. Before we do our fight. So this one time I'm sleeping, right? And I've seen this. I've seen the sleep demons, Bobby, but that's not what I'm touching on. I had a dream. I'm everything's normal. I'm living my life, and all of a sudden, my uncle walks out of his bedroom. His eyes are bleeding.
Oh my God,
Jesus.
And he's speaking in tongues. And then he points at me, and all of a sudden, something invisible grabs me and throws me across the room.
In your dream?
Yes. And just spends the next couple minutes kicking the shit out of me. And I wake up in a panic, and I run to my mom.
I thought you were going to say you woke up and you were in the spot where you were getting your ass kicked. Like, bro just got jumped by demons.
No. So I wake up, I go to my mom, I'm like, Mom, help. The demons, they're coming for me, man. And she gives me a cross and like little rosaries to keep in my pocket. And I get a little cross necklace. And she goes, you're safe. And I'm like, okay, this is great. I'm safe.
Oh my God.
Like 6 to 8 months later, we're sitting there in the living room, and my uncle walks out of his bedroom, and his eyes, I shit you not, are bleeding.
You're fucking me.
No, I was gonna say.
Turns out he just had high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And he went to the hospital the night before because he had a nosebleed that wouldn't stop. So they put a balloon up his nose to stop it. So he walks out and the blood is pouring out of his eyes. Oh. And I'm sitting there and I go, nope. And I run into my bedroom and I lock the door. I grab my rosaries. I'm just sitting on my bed. I'm like, no.
Something about bleeding orifices that doesn't sit right with me, man.
Brad pulls out a crossbow.
I'm prepared, motherfucker.
Shoots and kills his uncle. Why did you do that?
The demons were gonna attack me just
now. And then
now.
Brad gets locked up, and he's currently sitting in a psych ward right now with his.
They're coming to take me away.
So, fucking hell! You guys never make these transitions into these.
No, this is a great transition. Millions of years ago, the earth was roamed with such dangerous beings, and God saw it fit to kill them all. So now they're ghosts.
Yes.
Oh, the dinosaurs are the ghosts.
Yes.
We're being haunted by dinosaurs.
Haunted by dinosaurs. All right, motherfuckers. Name the strongest dinosaur that would be every other dinosaur here.
Oh, we're doing strongest. Oh, man. Well, mine would still kick y'all's asses.
Triceracop.
Why?
Hands down.
He's the size of a person.
But he's a Triceratops and a cop.
Please explain.
So, I've talked about it before, but we watched this movie on YouTube called Kung Fury. They're making a second one, thank God. And I swear to God, the funniest character in it is just a Triceratops cop.
He's British.
Named Triceracop.
Which, again...
Oh, he only shoots people in the dick.
Yeah, that is...
And he's only in, like, 2 scenes of that movie, funny. Too. He's in the first scene where they're like, hey, Kung Fury, you need a partner.
I work alone.
Here's Triceracop. Just...
Yeah, right? It comes out of fucking left field.
And he's like, I work alone. And he, like, walks off.
Like harrowing flashbacks to his partner getting cut in half. Now, see, he's the size of a guy and he shoots things in the dick. You know what doesn't have dicks? All dinosaurs. They do have dicks, but they're inside of them. What's he gonna do? There's nothing to shoot.
How do you know? Were you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went back in time like Triceracop. Or, yeah, like Triceracop.
Fury to stop Hitler.
Okay, what's your dinosaur?
It's just because he's, like, so cool. He's like how I would, like, envision myself as a dinosaur sometimes.
What the fuck is about to come out of your mouth?
Reptar.
Oh, God.
Reptar?
Yeah, the guy in the costume.
Triceratops would shoot Reptar in the dick.
Reptar has his own candy bar. I don't see many Triceracop candy bars anywhere.
Both of you guys are wrong. Because the right answer here, and the only answer that's going to be right, is going to be the right answer. Let me reiterate. The right answer is Yoshi. Yoshi literally consumes things and shits out a neck.
Yoshi is the pug of dinosaurs. It's not a real
dinosaur. Hey. First off, he raised Mario and saved him from dying being dropped by a stork.
And in return, Mario
stupid
kicks
ass
him into
little dinosaur
the
with his tongue.
void.
Yeah, and you know what? It's eating things bigger than this house and turned them into eggs.
Triceratops could take him.
Nope. He would eat fucking Triceracop. He would eat fucking Reptar. Discount ass Barney. Who wants you?
All right. Mine is so insanely left field that I feel like absolutely nobody at this table is going to have any fucking idea what I'm on about.
Nope.
Oh, fuck.
So I went to school for animation.
Oh, here we go.
And I learned about one of the very first animations ever done. And it was about a dinosaur. And the dinosaur's name was Gertie. That motherfucker came out, ripped trees out of the ground, and threw boulders. It was pretty badass, actually. But the reason I think he beat all yours is because without him, yours wouldn't exist.
I disagree.
Oh my, Gertie was the first dinosaur?
Gertie was the first animation.
Triceratops not animated.
Yoshi's a real
Oh! Does Gertie terrorize babies in Tokyo?
Wait, I've changed my answer.
Oh.
The best dinosaur ever was the Brachiosaurus brontosaurus that died in the Jurassic World movies when they show the original island blowing up and she can't get in the water to save herself, so you watch her die.
Why does that make her the best?
Because she deserved better, and fuck you.
So like Yoshi would just eat everyone. And
Yeah, Yoshi would eat the lava.
But
you know what Reptar would do? Be like, oh, because he's a cartoon, and just fly to the boat.
But if there's one thing I think we can all agree on, Godzilla's cooler than any of those fucks. He's just not a dinosaur.
That's fair. Anyone that will argue that he's a dinosaur, you're fucking wrong. He was a lizard that has become radioactive, and he became a kaiju monster.
At that point, he's actually only a kaiju.
Take it away, Tony.
All right. Thanks for joining us today. If you liked what you heard, please check us out on Twitter at aboveandbelow69. If you want to support us, you can follow us on Twitter and leave a rating on the site you use to listen to us. If you are on YouTube, please search Above and Below and give us a like and subscribe. And as always, have an above average day.
Bye, guys.
Yoshi!
See ya. We nutted.
No, you'd be dead if you nutted, dude. You'd get wrecked.
Oh, yeah.